All right, Chargers, Pats. Pats by 4, over-unders 47.5. No snow here, it looks like. It's going to be cold, 25-ish or so, but no snow. So the Chargers, I wondered the other day, I wasn't sure if they had gone back to LA or not. And they did. And Anthony Lynn said something. It was odd. You weren't sure. Like, I kind of thought, hey, maybe they'll stay on the East Coast. And Anthony Lynn said something to the effect of, well, there are some things we had to do to work that out to stay, and we didn't, so we went home. I'm like, what? What? It's kind of like you guys won the game and looked at each other and went, what do we do? And I don't know if that was the details, probably wasn't, but it sounded like it. It just seemed weird. Right. Like, you didn't prepare for this? Anyway, maybe they thought they were going to, well, if they had, no, they knew Sunday that if they won, they were going to Gillette, so I don't know. And maybe Saturday they thought they could be going somewhere else. They could have been going to Kansas City before that. Anyway, injury-wise, Hunter Henry's probably back for the Chargers. That's good. Full practice this week. Melvin Gordon has been limited in practice, but he hurt his ankle in the Ravens game. Should be fine. I think they're just trying to rest him a little bit. Brandon Mead being the Chargers defensive tackle, horrible story. He missed last week's game. His baby daughter was sick, and she passed away on January 3rd. I mean, thoughts to his family. That's awful. He's back, and he'll help their run defense. The run defense played great last week anyway, but Brandon Mead will be back. Pat's clean injury report. Devin McCourty had a concussion. Now it sounds like he's clear. He's not on the injury report, so he's good. So now, Pats have been much better at home. I've been harping all year. The Pats are not what they usually are. They're not dead. They're not declining. The dynasty's not over, but just been a step down. However, at home, they're 8-0. They're 62 against the spread. They've been good against the pass and bad against the run, according to the numbers anyway. 28th in yards per carry against the run. The Chargers have won 12 of their last 14. They had that big. They have been road warriors. They're 8-1, both straight up and against the spread on the road. On the road, they've beaten the Chiefs, they've beaten the Steelers, and they beat the Ravens last week. And they really beat the Ravens, even though the Ravens came back late. The question I have for this game, and I asked Ryan this the other day, the Bill Belichick conventional wisdom is that if you're a good offense, he will try to take out one play. Like, basically, this goes back to the Super Bowl 25 when they took out Andre Reed and they let Thurman Thomas run everywhere he wanted. Who do you think he targets, Gordon or Keenan?
That's a good question. I think probably Keenan.
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon has not been healthy, and it seems like, yeah. That's a good question. I think maybe Keenan. Yeah.
I kind of think Keenan too. And cut down the passing game. And yeah, the receivers are not bad. I mean, Mike Williams has emerged as a decent option. And probably be better next year too. But so the Chargers, how much is it asking of the Chargers? Like I said, they won all these big road games, and they had after they played the Ravens, they had to go home, fly cross country to go home, practice a few days, come all the way back. They got another early East Coast game. Does this catch up to them at some point? I'm going to pick them. But I can see I can see that this is just a big ask for the Chargers. I think they're the better team.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are the better team too. And like we talked a little bit last week. I'm sorry, my video just isn't working, so you're gonna have to just imagine, fantasize about me and how
you look pretty. So
I know it's so sad. Now I lost my train of thought. I think the Chargers are the better team. A little bit of a raw deal that they were in the same division as the Chiefs and they have to go on the road all playoff long. We talked about this last week that they've been really good on the East Coast this year for one of those 1 o'clock games. I mean, now they're 4-0, I believe, in those 1 o'clock games.
Yep.
So it's kind of old hat for them now. And I know Gillette's a pretty tough place to play. I guess you think that it's eventually going to catch up with them, but I don't know. Going back to the 2011 Giants again, I mean, they had to go on the road. I can't remember where you said they played the Packers in the divisional rounds. That's not an easy place to play. So it's not unprecedented that team is going to have to go on the road every week. This obviously is a little different because they have to travel from the West Coast all the way across the country again.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know about traveling back to LA. It's hard to tell when that kind of stuff, because there's so much debate about when you should go to like London for all those games, and some teams go early and some teams go late, and Some teams have success going early, but some teams don't. So it's kind of a toss-up. I don't know. I know I'm picking the Chiefs to win straight up. That's what I know. I'm sorry, the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers to win straight up because I think they're a better team, and I picked against them last week, which in retrospect I guess was a silly pick, but I don't know. You wonder if the Chargers just have that kind of special magic or that special something that this team that most Charger teams have not had.
Look at these guys. I said earlier, the reason I'm taking the Colts is because I think they can win. I think they have a pretty good shot to win the game outright. I think the same about the Chargers. I mean, you look at the Chargers here, you could make a pretty good argument that they're the best team in the NFL, except for maybe the Saints. You can make a good argument they're the best team in the AFC, right, at this point?
Yeah, I mean, their defense is top 10 defense. Their offense is one of the better offenses in the league. I mean, I think they're sixth in yards gained. Phillip Rivers, probably the most underrated quarterback of this generation. I think I talked about that last week. He's a guy who doesn't get the love that Brady and Rodgers and those kind of guys do. But he's always really good, and nobody really talks about him very much in that level. Melvin Gordon, top-notch running back. So yeah, I mean, they're very well rounded. The one thing that does concern me a little bit is if you're kind of matching coaching wits. Bill Belichick's probably the greatest NFL coach of all time, and he's going against a guy, Anthony Lynn, who's I think this is like his 35th game that he's coached.
Right.
So there's some disparity there. That would give me a little bit of pause. But the Chargers are a team that are on the rise, and the Patriots are a team that they're crumbling a little bit. So it's not out of the question. I think the Chargers are the better team. If this was a neutral site game, I wouldn't have any issue picking the Chargers in this one.
Same. I'm going to take the Chargers with the points. I actually right now have the Pats straight up, but I might change it. And like I said, I'm with you. I keep saying I don't hate the Patriots, right? I think they're a good team. I just don't. I think what I said to Ryan the other day is most years if the Pats get a bye, you think, oh, they got a pretty good shot to go to the Super Bowl. Now I go, I don't know.
Yeah.
I pick a few teams ahead of them.
Yeah, it's kind of a meh kind of thing with the Patriots this year. And if you look at the record, and I mean, the record's obviously great. I mean, it's good. It's a good team, but it's not the same team that we're used to. Now that Tom Brady, you have to wonder if there's so much talk about Tom Brady and whether or not he's really feeling his age and really showing his age. But I'm interested to see if playoff Tom Brady reemerges and to see what that guy can do. And
right.
If that guy struggles, then you're like, well, maybe Tom Brady just isn't Tom Brady anymore.
I mean, I think he's showing it a little, which is, I mean, he's 41.
Yeah.
It happens. I don't think he's done. I think he's declining somewhat. And he's still a good, solid quarterback, and that's fine. But I think Gronk's the one who looks different.
Yeah.
So,
but I think if you're looking at Phillip Rivers versus Tom Brady, who's going to pick? And I think you pick Phillip Rivers like without question.
Right now, I think I do.
He's 1-7 versus the Patriots in his lifetime, so he's got some motivation too. Phillip Rivers does.
Yep. By the way, the one thing I want to point out in this game, I pointed out on Tuesday. I talked about the Pats defense, and they're not getting any credit because the stats say they haven't been good this year. Final 6 or so weeks of the season, since the bye in week 11, they've given up 13, 10, 34, 17, 12, and 3. It's a lot of bad teams in there, but the Vikings are in there too.
Maybe Patricia, right?
Maybe they righted the ship a little bit. Yeah, exactly. All right, so you are taking. We're both taking the Chargers. You're taking straight up, and I might take them straight up. So take my pick on the site with a grain of salt right now. Right now on NFLPickWatch.com, 74% of the experts are taking the Chargers and the points. 71% of the fans are taking the Chargers and the points. All right, final game.
But straight up.
Yeah.
67% of the experts are taking the Patriots. So
okay. So people think the Chargers are going to keep it close.
Yeah.
Got it. Hedging their bets, kind of like what I'm doing.
Yep.
Okay.